Good afternoon. Bellevue Stadium, Wakefield is the venue for this afternoon's Stones Bitter League clash. The Saints are here at Bellevue with an unbeaten record and hoping to keep that up. The Saints team for this afternoon: Beavers at fullback, Hunt, Connolly, McCracken and Sullivan the three-quarters, Rapati and Griffiths the halfback, Ward in at number 8 with the injury to Jonathan Neal, Dwyer at 9, George Mann out of the second row into the prop at 10, with Joint, Nicol and Cooper the back three, Farber and Groves are the substitutes. Wakefield, we have Spencer at fullback, Goddard, Mason, Benson and Jones are the three-quarters, with Wright and Bagnall the halfback pairing, Webster, Conway and Glancy the front three, Bell, Eden and Slater the back three, with Timmins and Lazenby are the substitutes. The referee for this afternoon is Robin Whitfield from Widnes, one of our senior whistlers. Let's hope he has a good game today. Saints keeping up the momentum. What a game we had last Wednesday at Nosey Road with Widnes in the Lancashire Cup second round. A titanic battle, only a few minutes to go, 2 or 3 minutes to go, and Tia Rapati with the winner. Big boost for the Saints, obviously. Got to keep it up here at Wakefield. It's always a difficult venue. Just ready for the kick-off now. Just gone 3:30. Tia Rapati ready for the off. Playing up from the clubhouse end to the open, well, they're both open ends here at Wakefield, aren't they? Just one covered side on the far side there. Well, referee Whitfield quickly in. 10 seconds on the clock, and the Saints penalised for an over-enthusiastic tackle on Phil Eden. Well, that's the indication given by referee Whitfield. No doubt he'll have a few words of wisdom from the Partisan Saints faithful. Excellent travelling public for the Saints, but it's Billy Conway getting things underway. Prop forward John Glancy. Wakefield moving up quickly. Well, there certainly looks a hint of a forward pass there as it went to Mark Webster, but it's now with Bagnall. Saints, Bagnall, I think it was, coming through into the tackle. He ducked in the tackle, and George Mann being picked up. Shane Cooper there obviously said something out of turn. Referee Whitfield is speaking to him. Cooper is the captain. He's just explaining to him that nothing above the shoulder, well, a tackle above the shoulder is illegal now. And we all know Robin, he is a talking referee. He tries to keep play going, but it's Conway onto prop forward John Glancy. Conway again, Wakefield 10 yards from the Saints line. Bagnall, as I was going to say before, Bagnall, he led the Saints to merry dance at Nosey Road earlier on in the season, only a few weeks ago. But it's Wakefield now, putting the pressure on. Saints forced to defend early in the game, only a couple of minutes gone, or not quite 2 minutes yet, but it's Bagnall moving it over to the left. Bernard Dwyer, Tia Rapati, John Griffith in at the tackle, blindside ploy from Wakefield, it's gone through, the try's given. Early points on the board for Wakefield, just 2 minutes gone. And Wakefield in for a try. I don't know if it's Peter Benson, the Aussie, that's touched down. Yes, it was Peter Benson. Quickly in, an astute kick through. The ball moved quickly on the blind side for Trinity. And the Saints pressing up. The little grubber, it went through. Benson chased it, this Australian playing here for Wakefield, along with Jeff Bagnall, he's another Aussie. The third of the quarter, Darren Fritz, he's out banned for 2 matches for just hearing his views about the referee, I do believe. We're on the far side now. Wakefield looking for the extra points. In the lead here, 4 points to 0. It looks as though it's Benson. I think it's number 4 on the far side, taking the goal kicking duties. If it is Benson, looking to tag the extra 2 points onto his try, but waved away by the touch judge. But Wakefield, an early start for them, a good boost for them. They're looking to get off the mark in the Stones Bitter League Championship season. They're near the bottom of the Stones Bitter table. Without a win, always a difficult side on their own midding. Saints kick off. Bagnall feeds it. Passes it out to Richard Goddard. He comes through, but Kevin Ward and Sonny Nicol bring him down. Another noticeable absentee is Andy Wilson. But Wakefield are throwing the ball about. Looking quite sharp. Second row there, Phil Eden coming through. On to loose forward, Richard Slater. He moves it over to the left. Rapati and Connolly, I beg your pardon. Connolly quickly in. Just the blonde head that threw me off then. But Wakefield moving it about a bit. Back for the kick downfield. Tony Sullivan gathers it safely. But superb tackling from Wakefield. Now it's Phil Beavers trying to bring it away. Wakefield pressing up just as they did at Nosey Road. They certainly spotted the Saints nearly out of the game on that day, that Sunday. But solid tackling again, forcing Sonny Nicol back. Referee Whitfield lining the side out. Saints bringing it left, Cooper. Now with Chris Joint, looking for support, gets the ball away. Tony Sullivan won't be able to keep it in. What the penalty indicated there by referee Whitfield, an obstruction. The penalty going to the Saints. Obviously Joint coming through. He was going to move it over to the Sullivan, the McCracken and Sullivan wing. But just out of our view, obviously a Wakefield player was obstructing the Saints in their effort to go through, pulling back with the jersey. Saints awarded their first penalty of the afternoon. On to George Mann, half a break. Jonathan Griffiths was with him, but it's got it away to Sonny Nicol, back to Dwyer. Change of direction from the Saints. It's now with Chris Joint running out wide to Beavers. Saints certainly throwing the ball about just as Wakefield are, but Beavers wants to play it quickly. Saints moving it over to the right. There'll be an overlap if Saints can move it. Connolly on to Alan Hunt. Just getting through there is Hunt, turns in field. 10 yards short of the Wakefield 20-metre line. Connolly, George Mann. Saints now getting a bit of the composure back now with Kevin Ward. Connolly inside. Quickly taking the ball's loose. Saints have been awarded a penalty for reaping the ball. The Wakefield player reaping the ball out of the Saints player's hands. A chance for a penalty. Bernard Dwyer's been given the ball. Yes, Saints are going to go for goal. But Saints putting a good attack there. Kevin Ward taking it up centre field. Slipped it out nicely to Gary Connolly. And then the Wakefield tacklers came in and are adjudged to have reaped the ball out. A second penalty to the Saints and a chance for Bernard Dwyer to put points on the board. He's kicked 8 goals so far this season, scored 1 try. Been promoted in the press for Mal Reilly's Great Britain squad at Wembley on the 24th of October. The Australians, I believe they arrive tomorrow. They've got a 3-match warm-up with Sheffield Eagles, Huddersfield and Cumbria. And then the big match at Wembley, the showdown for the World Cup final. And as I said, Bernard Dwyer, he's been promoted. Well, John Griffiths is going to step up and just hold the ball for Bernard Dwyer. Difficult swirling breeze. Bernard Dwyer now. Well, hooks it. It doesn't even go dead. And Wakefield come away with the ball. Solid tackling as Griffiths and Rapati. And this half-back partnership, it's been working well as of late. And they're going to have to pull out all the stops. With Bagnall and Wright in the Wakefield side, especially Bagnall, wily old campaigner. But Saints hoping to contain Wakefield up there in their own 20-metre area. Kevin Ward, well, there's nothing wrong with that man. He's going to say it's round the head. Well, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Excellent tackle from Kevin Ward, took him round the chest. And referee Whitfield is indicating round the back of the neck. Wakefield in possession, slipping it away. Full-back Gary Spencer. Well, a bit of obstruction on the far side there as Peter Benson picks it up. Now takes it over to David Jones. Ex-Wigan flyer on the far side. Now with Andy Mason. Richard Goddard in possession. Spencer coming round for the loop movement. Now with Bagnall. Well, an obstruction there again on Kevin Ward, but the ball's loose. It's gone back to Wakefield. Surely he's not allowing play go on there. Well, referee Whitfield is. That must have been a knock on in that movement, but it's not been adjudged. Wakefield, they're obviously exploiting every avenue available to them. Conway moves it left, inside ball now, Nigel Bell. He takes it over to the far side. Referee Whitfield shouts held. Saints are lining out. Bagnall along, well, it must have touched his fingertips surely. No, adjudged not to have done. Phil Eden has possession. Drop goal attempt. Yes. Spencer, I think it is, that came through with the drop goal attempt. No, I beg your pardon, I think it's Nigel Wright. Nigel Wright, yes, it was Nigel Wright. I stand corrected. So Nigel Wright, with that drop goal, makes it 5 points to 0 in Wakefield favour. Wakefield very fortunate down there in the Saints 20. With a couple of decisions that wasn't picked up by the referee. Bagnall takes it. It's on to Goddard. He brings it centre field, just outside his 20-metre line. On to Slater. He moves it across. 11.5 minutes of the game gone. 5-0 in Wakefield's favour. And Mark Webster there. Excellent Helens player, Mark Webster from the Northampton area. Having a good game. Connolly knocks it down. It was a knock forward. The touch judge, well, the touch judge looks as though he was indicating a knock on. The referee hasn't waved the tackle count clean, even though Gary Connolly did knock it down. Wakefield spreading it about. It's now with Bagnall, looking for the gap. Well, the obstruction movement coming through there again as Wright came across. But it's now with Webster. Only a young lad, this fella. Well, he gets it back, tries to get it back. It's like basketball, isn't it? But Sonny Nicol comes up with it. Shrugs 2 tacklers off, but 3 come in, 3 Wakefield men. Sonny wants to play it quickly. Bernard Dwyer waiting. Now with Tirapati. Gives the dummy, looking for support. Dwyer's there. On to Connolly. He has to come back in field. And John Glancy going in there, lending an extra 15 or 16 stone. Blindside ploy now, on with Chris Joint. Got a little high one there from Conway as he went in. Saints move it across. Kevin Ward, he'll straighten up, gets the ball away to Cooper. Slides past us, Cooper. Just brought down just in the Wakefield half. Griffiths, George Mann. Andy Mason here looking for the interception, but Saints bring it blind again. Wakefield penalised for offside. Well, Mason obviously moving up in an offside position. Referee Whitfield picked him up quickly. Little bit of respite for the Saints as John Griffiths with the penalty award finds touch 10 yards short of the Wakefield 20. Saints looking for the first points on the board. 6 tackles to hopefully make it count. Webster on the legs, Glancy over the top. Now it's Kevin Ward in at number 8 with the injury to John Neal. It was a suspected kidney injury, but it was only severe bruising. Well, I say only, that's bad enough, isn't it? McCracken now running hard and strong, and a high tackle indicated by referee Whitfield. Slater coming through on McCracken. I didn't think there was anything high in that tackle as he came through, but referee Whitfield obviously picked it out. A chance now for Saints to get 2 points on the board. That's the indication. Certainly a lot of, well, I wouldn't say nitpicking. Obviously the rules have got to be adhered to. But referee Whitfield penalising Wakefield. Richard Slater for a high tackle on McCracken. A chance now for Bernard Dwyer. The game stopped while the Wakefield physio is well ordered off the pitch, and he's not going, is he? Well, he's going to be brought to referee. He's going to be told, he's going to be reprimanded, and if it's anything like the lady physio, the witness physio the other night, she was never off the ground. But the Wakefield players are a bit disgruntled because he's spoken to the Wakefield physio and hasn't spoken to the Saints physio who was on the pitch, but we'll not say anything about that, will we? Bernard Dwyer gets 2 points back for the Saints, courtesy of a penalty goal. Bernard's 9th goal of the season. 15.5 minutes gone. 5 points to 2 the score in Wakefield's favour. Kevin Ward chips it up, shrugs the tattlers off. Right it was that kicked it off, a low, awkward kick. Now with Sonny Nickel. Feels quite soft on the pitch. We came across the pitch obviously from the far side to bring all the video gear up here, and it was quite soft at the back of the sticks. But George Mann moving upfield. A little bit of sun coming out now. Bernard Dwyer looking for the half gap, loses his footing. Mason being warned again as Saints bring it blindside. Well, a lofted pass there from John Griffiths to Jared McCracken. He couldn't take it. Anthony Sullivan couldn't take it. The ball going into touch 10 yards short of the Saints 20-metre line. A chance for Wakefield to put pressure on the Saints. Bagnall to feed. I think that's the first scrum we've had, and Bagnall fed it. Wakefield have scrum possession. Inside pass. Second row, Nigel Bell. I think that is in possession, with Billy Conway acting half. Who's it left? Eden. John Glancy, I beg your pardon, the prop. Now Billy Conway. Bagnall. There's the pivot. Inside ball now with Phil Eden. Bagnall again. He sees the gap, there's Bagnall. Kevin Ward slows him down, but he's looking for support. Andy Mason comes through. He's without his wing partner Andy Wilson, a lively campaigner. Slater over on the far side, moving it over to Peter Benson. Bagnall grubbers it through. It's all on. Alan Hunt takes it. Excellent tackle there by Bagnall. Followed his kick up. Now it's with Tirapati up the centre, turns it inside to Bernard Dwyer. Solid tackling from Wakefield. 8 yards from the Saints posts. Now the Saints line, George Mann coming through. Is that a high tackle? Yes. Slater being pulled out for a high tackle on George Mann. He's certainly picking him up, his referee Whitfield this afternoon. The Bagnall, the captain, I think, for Wakefield, he's there with Slater. He's just been told, keep the tackling down. John Griffiths, a swirling breeze. Saints restart. Good ball there from Ward to Cooper. Cooper has to take the tackle right on the halfway line. Bernard Dwyer, well, Bernard Dwyer brings it up right into Richard Goddard. A couple of Wakefield players offside there, but they did stand off Bernard. Now with George Mann. Inside to Shane Cooper. John Griffiths looking for the gap, gets the ball away, but it's picked up by Wakefield. It's Peter Benson. Connolly wraps him up on the far side, and Benson doing a bit of mauling. Now it's with the wingman, David Jones. The Saints just losing the way a bit, trying a little bit too hard perhaps. Halfway through the first half, 5 points to 2 the score in Wakefield favour. As we said, Wakefield looking for the first win of the season. Good break there from Nigel Bell. In the Saints 20-metre area at Wakefield, moving it across field. Well taken there, superb tackle by McCracken. Kick and chase, but Beavers is there, takes it well, but he's wrapped up by Goddard. The view is just a little bit obscured in this bottom right-hand corner, obviously circumstances beyond our control. Your cameraman today, Peter, said it just was maybe a little bit awkward in this bottom right-hand corner from our vantage point. Obviously not all the vantage points, the video gantries as good as we have at St Helens. But it's Kevin Ward bringing the ball up, driving up, just brought down short of the 20-metre mark, 20-metre line. The Wakefield physio on again to treat the injured chap there. But Connolly putting it down. Can Saints get on the board here? Connolly. He has to take the tackle. Hunt had moved infield. Connolly moving on the outside, or going on the outside. Tried to draw the defenders in. It's the sixth tackle of this sequence. The ball's with Beavers. Good kick from Beavers. Makes Gary Spencer turn round and go back. Picks it up on his own 20-metre line. Dwyer and Joint are the first men in. Wakefield still down to 12 men. And the man in possession there, Andy Mason, he's got a hamstring injury. Doubtful before this afternoon's match, but he's out there. Obviously he's possibly suspect, but McCracken coming in with a superb tackle on Goddard. But it's Wakefield in possession. The player gets up very slowly with the ball back to right, kicks it downfield. Beavers brings it up. Superb tackling from Wakefield. Saints going through the repertoire now with Chris Joint. Useful lad, this Joint. Kevin Ward, unfortunately, a rare mistake from Kevin Ward. Wakefield get the loose ball, Phil Eden comes away with it. Now with Spencer, the fullback, and another Wakefield player injured. Whether it is the same man again that's took a knock, but a lot of concern there from the physio. The game goes on, and Webster coming through, Sonny Nickel and Chris Joint meet him. Well, he's up now, he's on his feet. Nigel Bell it is that taking the knock. Now with Bagnall, the ball knocked back. Cooper moves in quickly. And didn't he have an excellent game against Widnes on Wednesday night, Shane Cooper? When you watch it again, he gets through some graft to the Saints captain. There's no danger about this. Now with Bagnall. Looking for a positional kick in. Is it going to go dead? It is right in the far corner. An astute kick from Bagnall, but just too deep that time. Chance for the Saints. Well, it's allegedly touched a Saints player, or been kicked dead by a Saints player there, the far side. I don't know whether that's correct, but that's the decision we've got. And Saints forced to drop out from between the sticks. Well, Bagnall kicked it through. It didn't look as though any Saints player had touched it. Whether the touch judge has a judge that Alan Hunt on the far side, I would imagine, had got a boot to it. But Goddard comes up with the ball. Goddard and Bell vying for the ball there. Chris Joint completes the tackle. Now with Benson. Onto Bagnall. This man will have to be spoken to. There's no danger. As I said, he'll have to whisper in his ear and just let him know he's boss. He was running the roost for Wakefield at Nosey Road just a couple of weeks ago. Saints trailing by 5 points to 2, but obviously looking to get the first double of the season by beating Wakefield, only Wakefield here at Bellevue. Billy Conway from acting halfback. Bagnall again. Saints tackling, holding firm, and Wakefield losing ground on that occasion. About 10 metres. Conway back to Bagnall. Lofted ball. A tester for Phil Beavers. Takes it on the full and on the run does Beavers. Excellent full-back play. Quick play from the Saints, bringing it blindside. George Mann has to take the tackle in McCracken and Sullivan on his outside. But the cover moved in. Joint has to take the tackle again. Wakefield moving in exceptionally quickly. This is what they did at Nosey Road earlier on. And you can only play as well as the opposition will let you. You've got to try all the tricks in your repertoire to break down the opposition's defence. George Mann to McCracken. Runs in strong. Mason takes him well. Excellent tackle from Mason round the legs. The last tackle of this sequence. Goddard shoulder charges Griffiths, but the ball going up to Gary Spencer, takes it well. Tightly contested game. 14 minutes of the half remaining. 5 points to 2 in Wakefield's favour. Benson on the far side, gets it inside to Mason. He's brought down. Saints will have to tackle in 2s and 3s to make sure these players don't release the ball. Glancy now, powering his way upfield. Bagnall, on to Phil Eden. He's looking to release it. Well, he was showing it, but he plays it. Bagnall, Bell, lofted pass to Benson. Inside ball now. Bell again, and Wakefield are carving big holes in this Saints defence. The last tackle of this sequence. Bagnall, it'll be grubbered, you can bet. Yes, it's there. But Shane Cooper well positioned that time, and Cooper's away. It's Sullivan on his outside. Sullivan up this wing. Let's see what he can do, this lad. Excellent tackle there by Goddard. Sullivan wants to play it quickly. McCracken. Cooper again. On to Chris Joint. Did well there. Little bit of brilliance there from Saints captain Shane Cooper. Quick thinking. Brought the ball away. Lovely ball to Sullivan. But an excellent tackle there by Goddard. Superb tackle. The Wakefield tackling has been hard and firm this afternoon. And a rare excursion, can we say, into the Wakefield half for the Saints. Rapati. Beavers coming through onto that lovely floated ball, but a high tackle indicated. Mason is picked out. Beavers coming through, and it was Wright. The standoff, and Mason, who was penalised, coming in for the high tackle on Beavers. Didn't look a lot in it, as I've said with some of the tackles, but the penalty awarded. John Griffiths finds touch on the Wakefield 20-metre line. A chance for the Saints to build a platform with 6 tackles to go. As George Mann brings it centre field. McCracken looking for a bit of the action. Kevin Ward straightens up, drives it straight. Hands and knees is Ward. 8 metres short of the Wakefield line. The Saints faithful behind the sticks there get behind them. Griffiths, Rapati, onto Chris Joint. Joint again, looking for support. Connolly was on the inside, he couldn't release it. Wakefield urged to get back on side. Joint gets up. Dwyer brings it left. Cooper, Griffiths, onto McCracken. Well, that looked a little high there on McCracken, didn't it? I must admit that one looked high. It's number 12, Phil Eden, that's going to be picked out. It's going to be a penalty to the Saints. 7 penalties to 3. I make it in Saints' favour. Now Bagnall, the captain's been spoken to. I think Saints will elect to play it. Shane Cooper's getting ready. Yes, Cooper plays it. Long ball there, Beavers, to Rapati, out to Connolly. Good tackling again by Wakefield, moving in quickly. Now it's Rapati again. Let's see this man's brilliance. Oh, look at him go, right in front of the sticks. Out to Bernard Dwyer. Tried to keep the ball moving, but solid Wakefield tackling. Beavers, Cooper again. Well, Mason has it. Saints have an injured player there, Kevin Ward. I think there's took a knock. Saints tried for the long cut-out ball. It didn't work for them. Mason came up with ball possession. Well, Saints penalised Erden at the tackle. Nothing wrong with that again, in my opinion. Bernard Dwyer going in with Sonny Nicholl and Kevin Ward. But a high tackle had indicated there was nothing in that at all. But Wakefield have the penalty. I mean, we are playing a high-speed body contact sport. But Wakefield have been awarded the penalty. It's going to come over here to our commentary position. Just bouncing off the top of the box here. Obviously word getting round about our video and having a few pot shots at us. But it's Wakefield in possession. 10 minutes of the half to go. Wakefield leading by 5 points to 2. Billy Conway. On to Phil Eden. He gets it away to substitute Tracy Lazenby. Griffiths has possession. Rapati. Excellent tackling from Wakefield, as it has been, but George Mann comes down the blind side. He gets it away to McCracken. Inside to Dwyer. He has to straighten up. A solid wall of Wakefield defence, but it's now with Kevin Ward. Cooper looming on his shoulder. Well, the touch judge there indicating that a knock-on had taken place. The referee was right on the job. It's obviously the spectators below us had tried to influence Mr. Whitfield's decision there, but the referee looked over to the far side. A judge that Kevin Ward had knocked on. Bagnall feeds it. 2 scrums to 0 in Wakefield favour. Bagnall again. Well, he pushes the tacklers off. Sonny Nicholl brings him down. I'm sure Bagnall would have been a priority of Mike McLennan's team talk before the Saints took the field, and no doubt he'll be the subject of it during the half-time interval. Eden pirouetted out of the tackle, gets it away to Slater. Cooper and Dwyer wrap him up. Wrestle to the ground just outside the Saints' 20-metre area. Billy Conway attacked in half-back. Bagnall, it's chipped through. Well, he couldn't have been onside, that fella, could he? The ball kicked dead. Offside indicated by referee Whitfield. The speed he moved through there, he could never have been onside. But Saints, well, I make it the 8th penalty anyway. John Griffiths successfully finds touch on the main stand side here at Bellevue. Bernard Dwyer from the 20-metre line. Cooper, short ball to Nickel. Cooper again onto Chris Joint. Return pass to Vivers. Connolly on the outside. Connolly breaks through the defence. He's forced back infield. Conway and Nigel, beg your pardon, John Glancy this time. Kevin Ward looking for support again. He's Ward. Should always be somebody following this big man. A penalty for the Saints. Ward impeded at the play of the ball, much to the displeasure of the Wakefield fans below us. And John Griffiths with a touch finder midway between the 20-metre line and the halfway line. George Mann now. As we said, most of the game in this first half being played in the Saints half. Sonny Nickel. Slater brings him down. Bagnall, I think, is involved as well. Dwyer to Cooper. Using all his craft. Cooper inside the Wakefield half now. Rapati and Dwyer were there, but excellent close tackling again from Wakefield. Ward inside to Bernard Dwyer. Good clamp tackle there, as you can see. Bernard held round the legs, and obviously Bagnall had him round the chest, holding the ball as well. John Griffiths, good short ball to Joint. Inside to Griffiths, took it well, gets it away to Rapati. It was kicked by Wakefield. The tackle count waved clean. Kevin Ward now takes it up centre field. Support from Sonny Nickel up to the 20-metre line. It's waved off, so Saints have 6 tackles to make it count, trailing by 5 points to 2 and looking for the first 4 points of this afternoon. George Mann out to Vivers, overlap, Connolly out to Alan Hunt. Gives the dummy, drives it forward, does Hunt. He's been taken over to the far side and forced into touch, is he? They've just brought him down short. Well, a penalty to the Saints. Robin Whitfield had shouted hell, so another 6 tackles for the Saints. Good ball to Sonny Nickel from Shane Cooper. Well, a knock-on indicated. Sonny Nickel losing the football in a good attacking position. So Saints there just losing a little composure, if we can say. After Wakefield touching the ball, then the tackle count waved clean. Alan Hunt being forced over in the far side. Another 6 tackles for the Saints, but unfortunately Sonny Nickel, I would imagine it's very awkward. It's slippery conditions out there. But Wakefield now feeding the ball. They have possession from the scrum. 3 scrums going with the feed. Saints will have to contain, well, excellent George Mann, excellent tackling there. Saints will have to contain Wakefield up there at their own end. Webster, he'll have to be thundered to the ground, and that's the order of the day. The Saints faithful getting behind them, cheering them. Now with Tracy Lazenby nearly getting through. Kevin Ward going in, helping Bernard Dwyer. Ward again, on to Slater. Saints urge back on side. Conway gets the ball away, Wakefield slip it. Now with Bagnall, Connolly wraps him up. Last tackle of this sequence. The ball back for the kick downfield. Well, Dwyer closes him down, it's on to Tracy Lazenby. It's going to be all on. Well, surely John Griffiths comes up with it. I say it's going to be all on. Surely the Wakefield player had picked it up, it'd have been offside. But now it's Rapati looking for the gap. Has to take the tackle. Held, referee Whitfield shouts. Less than 3 minutes to the interval. Certainly been an exciting half. It's gone really quickly. Saints trailing 5 points to 2. And looking for a try just before the half-time interval. George Mann. Bernard Dwyer brings it left. Cooper. Ward. Draws the defence in now with Griffiths. Out to Cooper. Excellent play. Inside. Oh, I'm going to say inside to McCracken. Excellent dummy there, Shane. Dummied the commentator as well. Now with Connolly. Lofts it high. A tester here for Wakefield. Has it gone dead? It has. Directly dead. Wakefield to restart with a tap from the centre of the 20-metre line. Bagnall, well, he's played it. Come on, Saints, get into him. Well, referee, obviously not on the correct blade of grass. For referee Whitfield, I can't understand that. Well, if he's not played it correctly, he should be penalised, shouldn't he? Lazenby comes up and plays it. But Wakefield still have possession. Reverse pass. Or change of direction, should I say. Moving it to the right and then inside to the left. On to John Glancy. Well, that's going to be a knock-on. Wakefield knock it forward. Saints couldn't capitalise on it. It bounced back. It's going to be the scrum down with the Saints feed. John Griffiths. I think this is the first scrum that we've had with the Saints feed. Saints come up with it. Cooper. Griffiths. Looking for that half gap. Back to Cooper. Saints looking to spread it, but good clamp tackling there. The try wouldn't go amiss now, would it? Just before the half-time interval. Sonny Nicol moving it out wide. Dwyer will turn it back inside. Cooper along the line. Griffiths. Rapati looking for the runners. There's Joint. But superb tackling. The Wakefield tackling is held firm all throughout this half. Actually played 40 minutes on my watch. Oh, good ball from Ward to Rapati. Inside to Dwyer. He's going for the line. Has he slid over? Yes. It must be a try. Oh, he's not given a double movement. He must be joking. Well, Bernard Dwyer is sliding forward. As I said, it's very slippy out there, I would imagine. Ground very soft, but a good break from Kevin Ward to Rapati. And then Bernard Dwyer taking it on. As he was tackled, he rolled up Bernard Dwyer and touched it down. A double movement has been given. I'll have to have a look at that again on the video, obviously. But I maybe disagree with the referee's decision. He won't care anyway, he's made it. And Wakefield awarded the penalty. And fine touch, shall we say about 10 yards, no, 12 yards away from their own line. A minute of stoppage time has been played. 5 points to 2 the score. Prop forward John Glancy coming through. Billy Conway from dummy half. Connolly effects the tackle. Saints already with 8 wins behind them this season, including the charity game. But Wakefield now with a final flourish. Well, he's not played it. Surely the man was tackled. He's not played it. It's now with Mason. McCracken wraps him up. Well, a knock-on indicated by Mason. He doesn't like it. Referee Whitfield quickly picked that up. There's the half-time hooter. An exciting first half here at Bellevue. It was opened in the second. The scoring was opened in the second minute by a Benson try on the far side. Good grubber kick through by Bagnall. 4-0 to Wakefield. 9 minutes later, Wright with a drop goal, and that gave Wakefield a 5 points to 0 lead. Bernard Dwyer with a penalty goal in the 15th minute after missing one about 5 minutes earlier at the Saints' only point. So the half-time score here at Bellevue Wakefield is Wakefield 5, St Helens 2.
Leave theirs going. Leave theirs going. Just leave theirs going.
Well, stop out.
Have you stopped that? Have you stopped
I
that?
stopped that. Which one are we on?
This one.
Oh.
Have you stopped? This one should be going, shouldn't it?
Kick off.
Yeah. Just before.
Both teams coming out now for the second half. Saints trailing by 5 points to 2. Just one mention this afternoon. Some avid Saints spectators, Sean and Rosemary Fitzhenry and their daughter Catherine. Rosemary gave birth on Wednesday afternoon, I do believe. A bouncing baby, the second in the family, after just before we beat Widnes in that great epic Lancashire Cup. The baby was registered in the Junior Saints at the tender age of 4 hours and 45 minutes. So lots of love, Rosemary, from husband Sean, daughter Catherine, all of us on the Saints video team, and Sean told me to tell you that he believes the birth was of orgasmic proportion. So I would imagine it was, Rosemary. Anyway, all the best to you, love, and we hope to see you shortly. So Lazenby came on in the first half for Bell, and now Bell has come back on for Lazenby. I don't think it was a blood bin change, but no doubt the riot act has been read in the Saints dressing room during the half-time interval. Wakefield have kicked off, Saints in possession, Jared McCracken on the far side, Saints trailing by 5 points to 2, and Saints coach Mike McLennan will have given them a bit of ear bashing. But you can only play as well as the opposition will let you. The Wakefield defence has been superb. John Griffiths now kicks it right down the throat of Gary Spencer. He brings it up centre field. The Saints tackling, they'll have to hold firm, but the Spencer gets it away. Well, Alan Hunt moving over quickly on Davy Jones. Connolly wraps him up. Alan Hunt, a Wakefield lad, came from the Eastmoor club here at Wakefield. Usually scores a try here against Wakefield. Scored a superb effort down the far touchline a couple of seasons ago, which pulled the Saints out of the mire that time. We won that year, but last season we slipped up here. We lost by 20 points to 12. We mustn't slip up today. We've got to keep the impetus going. Wakefield the bottom of the table along with Lee, and it's games like this that could prove crucial along the line. Bagnall again, out to Andy Mason on the far side. Billy Conway attacked in half. To stand off Nigel Wright. Deep kick. Well taken by Tony Sullivan on the far side. An awkward bouncing ball, but Sullivan takes it. Brought down over the 20-metre line. Now with Phil Beavers. Took it well. Give the dummy. Rapati was with him. Rapati moved inside. Beavers used Rapati as the foil. And now it's John Griffiths again inside to Bernard Dwyer. Just in front of our camera position. Webster and Conway bring him down. George Mann, looking for that half break. Yes, gets the ball away to Cooper. Quick hands is the order of the day as Chris Joint bursts through. Cooper again, and he's trying to get things going. Keep his team moving, as he did on Wednesday night. But Ward and Eden just having a little disagreement, but Rapati's away. Connolly's inside. Good ball to Connolly. Steps back, tries to, well, it touched the Wakefield player, it's on to Alan Hunt. Hunt going for the corner. Stood in the tackle, well, kneeling in the tackle. It's the last one of this sequence. Saints will have to move it across field. Rapati sees the gap. On to Cooper, yes, Cooper's going. He'll be in. Oh, excellent try by Shane Cooper. Just as I said, he was keeping his side going on the halfway line there. And he pops up with a try, which puts the Saints in the lead for the first time in this game. Superb try there, and that was on the sixth tackle as well. Spade work by Ward, centre field, then out to Rapati. Gary Connolly heavily involved. Connolly looks as though he was going through. He had to turn back inside. A long ball out to Alan Hunt. And then it was played, it was inside, and some intricate moving from the Saints. And an excellent transference of the ball. When Saints had moved over to the left, taking the defence over with them, the ball was slipped inside to Cooper, and he had no problem touching down, did he? 6 points to 5 the score, an excellent score for the Saints. Shane Cooper's second try of the season. 6 points to 5 now, and Bernard Dwyer looking to extend the lead. kick one this afternoon, a penalty goal. Looking for his second. Well, just outside the right hand upright. So 2 that Bernard's missed today. Paul Loughlin still out injured. David Lyon, he's still looking for his debut with the Saints. As Wakefield trail, Lazenby's come back on. Just don't know who he's come back on for. He's been replaced at half time, but he's back on again. Awkward bouncing ball. Chris Joint, I think it is, takes it on the far side and Joint's away into space. Sullivan was coming up on the outside. Well, the ball's been taken by Bagnall. I thought this ball stealing rule had, well, that's illegal. But what had happened in the tackle there? Bagnall came up with it. Wakefield quickly breaking. Overlap for Wakefield as Spencer comes through. Cooper has it, gives it to Beavers. Well, it's high speed this, isn't it? One end to the other. Gary Connolly taking a knock there. Alan Hunt calling for the physio, but he's up and about his Connolly now. Maybe he's got a knock on that ankle. Cooper, good ball to Rapati, into space. Rapati had Griffiths moving up, but he's well clamped by Bagnall. I don't know whether Rapati saw Griffiths on the inside. Well, obviously he didn't, as the ball had gone to him, but Griffiths coming up at a fair rate of knots. Beavers, Connolly along the line, now with George Mann. Chris Joint takes it up centre field, urging the Saints players to follow him. 6 points to 5, Saints in the lead. Kevin Ward taking up the running. Oh, excellent run from Kevin Ward. Outstanding player in the Saints colours. Griffiths, good. Ball from Griffiths, will it find touch? No. Just taken by David Jones. Comes up the wing, Alan Hunt has to give him a yard, but he catches him and brings him down midway between the 20-metre mark and the halfway line. Hunt and Connolly in at the tackle again on Glancy. Conway attacked in half, Wakefield moving it. Nigel Bell. Now Wakefield turning it in. They're in possession. Saints just leading by that 1 point, 6 points to 5. Well, referee Wakefield taking his time about that. He's penalised the Saints for offside. The ball had gone through 2 or 3 pairs of hands before he'd made his mind up. It was a penalty to Wakefield. 7 minutes of the second half gone. Nigel Wright finds touch just short of the 20-metre line. Wakefield, they're looking up to build something here to put them back in the lead. It's Conway out to Nigel Bell. Sonny Nickel brings him down. Davy Jones scampers centre field. Mann and Dwyer. Conway to second row man Eden. Ward finally powers him down. Wakefield now, they're looking sharp. They're only 10 metres from the Saints line. Bagnall along the bed to Benson, back to Wright. Taken to ground there. I think Shane Cooper has taken a knock. He calls for the physio immediately. And the Wakefield players taking a knock as well. But referee orders the ball to be played. It's now with Bagnall. Bagnall gets it away. Wakefield is spreading it. 2 players injured there. Obviously a bad collision with Saints captain Shane Cooper. But he's been treated. He's off. Last tackle of this sequence. Now with Eden. Short ball to Slater. Back to Benson. Oh, superbly tackled by Bernard Dwyer. Both teams back to full complement, and it's certainly an exciting game, isn't it? Nickel running crossfield, but he's forced back. Wakefield putting the pressure on. George Mann. Saints can just move it across field. Obviously with Wakefield pressing up. Just get that half break. And McCracken now bringing it away. Valuable yardage from McCracken. Cooper. Kicks it upfield. Spencer will field it. Cooper playing everybody onside. He can get the tackle in and get the ball played quickly. Roll off him, he'll have to play it. Wakefield very slow getting back onside. Slipping there. Talking to the Wakefield video crew at half time, they reckon Bernard Dwyer's was a double movement. I don't know, it's pretty slippy as he was sliding towards the line. They reckon it was Benson that effected the tackle, but referee Whitfield penalised the Saints. They've hit back in good style with Shane Cooper in the 3rd minute of his second half. Wakefield kick it upfield. Vivers has ball possession. Tony Sullivan coming away, but Wakefield have certainly spotted the Saints out of the game so far. But it's George Mann running hard up the centre. Kevin Ward looking for support, he gets it away to Griffiths there. Griffiths breaks out of the tackle. Rapati and Dwyer there. Griffiths wants to get up and play it quickly. But a knock on, I think, is given. As if he'd not played the ball correctly. There's the indication there from referee Whitfield. Certainly Griffiths being hampered a bit in his efforts. But it's a scrum down with a Wakefield feed. Bagnall to feed, first scrum of the second half. It's away quickly. Bagnall up the centre. Cooper quickly has him. Saints only winning 1 scrum against 3 of Wakefield in the first half. But Saints having the penalties 10-5. Lazenby, inside ball to Bell. Bagnall sees the gap, goes for it. Tremendous upper body strength, this Bagnall. Always a tight battle here at Wakefield. Well, a short ball to Benson. Looked a bit suspicious as he got it away. But Benson and Griffiths just exchanging pleasantries. McCracken saw the ball coming through, homed in on Lazenby. It's now with Bagnall, but McCracken has him. It's away to Bell. Short ball to right. Ward bounces him to the ground. Superb tackling stint from the Saints. Last tackle of this sequence. It's now with Lazenby. Locks it high. Lazenby running up to play everybody onside. But Beavers takes it well. Lazenby tackles him. Superb take from Beavers. Alan Hunt now 15 yards further forward. Dwyer. Cooper. Saints spread it over to the left. George Mann shrugs off Bagnall. Well, the ball's still going with Joint. Out to McCracken. It's away to Sullivan. Down the wing. Past Warby Sullivan. He takes the full-back on, but he comes in. Tackles him well to Spencer. Saints moving crossfield. Connolly. Support from Rapati, but offside Wakefield surely. I would have thought so. Yes, Wakefield penalised for offside. Saints' first penalty of this second half. Bernard Dwyer, will he be asked to go for goal? He is. Saints in the lead by 1 point, looking to extend it to 3. Both physios on to treat the battered bodies, and it's certainly been a bone-crunching encounter this afternoon. As I said, Saints slipped up here last season. 20 points to 12 they went down. But we won at Nosey Road comfortably by 40 points to 12. And Saints, they're the Stones Bitter Team of the Month this season, the first team this season to get the accolade. Also the Daily and Sunday Mirror Entertainers of the Month. It's been a difficult battle so far this afternoon. We're looking to Bernard Dwyer to extend the Saints' lead to 3 points. But Dwyer strikes it. It's between the uprights. Yes, excellent kick from Bernard. Bernard Dwyer's second penalty goal of the afternoon extends the Saints' points lead to 8 points to 5. So the Saints now with a 3-point lead after trailing by 3 points at half time. Beavers onto McCracken. Let's see this fella with a good running chance. Pushes off 2, drives forward, does McCracken. Tries to feed it inside, but Wakefield come up with possession. The idea was right, but it just didn't come off for Jared that time. Mason running strong, Ward and Rapati bounce him down centre field. It's now with prop forward John Glancy. Billy Conway attacked in half-back. Conway trying to scamper away, short ball there, well it's a knock-on. It's going to be a knock-on. The return pass there from Eden to Billy Conway. He wasn't expecting it, he expected Eden to take it away. Just a loss of composure there by Wakefield, I'm very pleased to say. And a scrum down with a Saints feed. Bagnall and Jonathan Griffiths out to Gary Connolly now. Well, Bagnall, I think it was, pulling a Saints body back. Well, it was a Wakefield player anyway, pulling a Saints body back as John Griffiths, excellent touch finder, 10 yards, 10 metres, whatever it is, inside the Wakefield half. Bernard Dwyer will restart it. 10 yards inside the half and 10 yards in from the touchline with George Mann. Saints now looking to build on the lead. Trying a goal certainly wouldn't go amiss. Only one try to each side so far the scoring, with 2 Bernard Dwyer penalty goals and a right drop goal, the other points. A right drop goal for Wakefield. Cooper, change of direction, out to Chris Joint. Moving well, takes it to Tony Sullivan. Looking for a little bit of space, but not much there. Tight Wakefield tackling, as it has been throughout the game. Cooper, on to Griffiths, he's worked tirelessly as Griffiths. Rapati now, good run, on to McCracken. Into space, McCracken. Connolly's with him. Well, is it a knock-on given by referee Whitfield? The ball has gone to ground, a knock-on. So a lot of loose handling both sides. But Jared McCracken bursting through well. Scrum down. Feed for Wakefield, courtesy of Bagnall. Shouldn't have any problem. Well, the ball's come out Saints side. Saints are penalised though by referee Whitfield for moving up at the scrum when the ball was still in the pack. That's the indication given. I think it's right to find touch. He does so about 12 metres outside his own 20-metre area. Billy Conway onto prop John Glancy. Conway again inside to Bagnall. Well, that semi-obstruction movement there being used as Nigel Bell tries to scamper through, but Dwyer brings him down. Wakefield moving it over to the right, courtesy of Wright. Good ball onto Mason, flicks it inside to Wright, and good play from Wakefield with Gary Spencer, the final pair of hands. Well, they didn't play it properly there, did Wakefield, but the referee wasn't looking. Go, superb tackle from Bernard Dwyer on Phil Eden, and Eden's taking a knock in that tackle. The referee says take the ball away, get it played, and let's get underway. Lazenby brings it away, Slater at dummy half. Wakefield in possession, moving a full 50 metres we should say, upfield, good into passing movement. Phil Eden being treated by the physio, Wakefield down temporarily to 12 men, and Bagnall getting the grubber kick away and successfully finding touch about 3 or 4 yards inside the Saints 20-metre area. So scrum down on the far side. Wakefield will be one light in the pack, with Eden being treated over here. But Saints have possession. John Griffiths, awkward ball but allowed to go on. Rapati looks at referee Robin Wakefield, just in case he was going to rule a forward. It certainly looked a little suspicious from Griffiths to Rapati, but it's okay. Ruled okay anyway by the official. Dwyer, it's a George Mann. Slips it away to Rapati, out to Connolly. Round Davy Jones, it's away to Alan Hunt. He'll have to come in field. He has to take the tackle with Alan Hunt. Well, he's lost the ball. The referee's indication is he's lost the ball. Bagnall doing a bit of mauling and the officials having to move in quickly. So Bagnall causing a little bit of aggravation there. And let's hope the referee, well, it's sorted out now. The referee's just going to rule the scrum with a Wakefield feed. But obviously Bagnall there doing a bit of prodding and probing, and Alan Hunt just letting him know who's boss. Davy Jones coming crossfield, Rapati has him, but he gets it away to Bagnall. Halfway through the second half, and that's gone quick, hasn't it? 8 points to 5 in the Saints' favour. Lazenby, centre field, right on the halfway line. Conway dummy half. Moves it to the right. Glancy, big prop forward. Conway again, moves it right to Nigel Bell. He's wrapped up, second bite of the cherry, didn't actually get away. Well, he's moving forward, is Nigel Bell, Joint trying to get off, but Wakefield there, they milk it for all it's worth. They get the penalty, and a chance for goal, is it? No, he's not going to go for goal. It's not found, yes it has, found touch. I thought it was going to be short, but Wakefield there, they're only 5 metres from the Saints line, trailing by 3 points. Glancy the first man in, the Saints tackling, they'll have to hold firm. Kevin Ward there holding the man back, now with Nigel Bell bringing it towards the posts. Obviously a drop goal's no good, but they want to try, if they're going to score one, right under the sticks or near enough for the conversion to make it certain. Conway from acting halfback, they'll have to watch this lively character. Bringing it over, Glancy again. These Wakefield tacklers, they'll have to be clamped. Well, Saints have possession. Superb tackling, the Wakefield man tried to get the ball away in the tackle to Conway, and Phil Beavers was quickly down. No fancy stuff from the Saints, they'll just have to hold on to it, take the tackle. Rapati there, about 5 or 6 of them, but it should be awarded a penalty this time, but it's Saints have been penalised. No, I do beg your pardon, I thought he'd penalised the Saints with Rapati throwing the ball away, but he was under a lot of pressure. The referee must have shouted held, quite a bit of mauling. The ball was reaped out, and then somebody said something out of turn in the Wakefield camp, and Saints awarded another penalty. Good kick from John Griffiths right in front of us. Puts Saints back on the attack after withstanding the pressure. Griffiths now, George Mann. Obviously that midweek game against Widnes in the Lancashire Cup taking its toll as well with the players, even though Saints have to keep the momentum up. It's high pressure, high profile rugby. But Shane Cooper, he's looking sharp, he's keeping his side going, and this fellow with the possession, John Griffiths, he's looked exceptionally sharp this afternoon. Cooper again, Kevin Ward running strong and straight and true, just losing his footing. Bagnall brings him down, Beavers attacked in half-back. The ball back to Rapati, gives it to Griffiths, gets the kick away, favourable bounce, yes, finds touch inside the 10-metre mark there. A scrum down, 10 metres in from the touchline, 10 metres from the Wakefield try line. It's Bagnall to feed, but Saints will put the pressure on now. Wakefield have possession, and this is where Saints are going to have to keep them down there. Saints with 2 men still in the dugout. Paul Forber and Paul Groves making his first appearance of the season. Groves on the substitutes bench, on the transfer list at St Helens. is Paul Groves. Ward and Nicol in at the tackle. Wakefield contained in the 20-metre area. The kick downfield from standoff Nigel Wright. Beavers hopefully making sure. Yes, he does. He gathers it. Drives it up to the halfway line. Well, over the top there. Second row forward, Phil Eden. Sullivan, well, you can see very awkward, very slippy out there in the pitch, in the centre field. George Mann, shrugging the tacklers off, gets the ball away. It's now with Connolly. Up the centre is Connolly. Nearly cops a high one, but it's off a Wakefield player. It's all on. Griffiths going for it. Well, the ball's loose. Knocked back, says referee Whitfield. But Saints being penalised. Connolly kicked it through. He touched a Wakefield man. He fumbled with the ball, did the Wakefield man. Saints moved up on it. But whatever happened there, the penalty going Wakefield way. And Wright finds touch. "15 metres from the halfway line. What a pulsating Stones bit of championship match we have this afternoon. 8 points to 5 the score in the Saints' favour. 14, just over 14 minutes of the game remaining. Just as the other evening when we played Widnes, the next score could be crucial. Well, Saints penalised again. Lazenby there, milking it. Wakefield have the penalty. Touch found. 20 metres inside the Saints half. And now it's Conway onto Nigel Bell. Mann and Ward complete the tackle. Wakefield via Bagnall trying to spread it. Slater has it. Wakefield in an attacking position. Trailing by 3. Well, awkward ball right to Benson, but Connolly wraps him up, man and ball. Excellent tackle there by Gary Connolly, assisted by Tia Rapati. David Jones at dummy half. Inside to Wright. Wrestle to the floor. Dwyer and Nicola there. Conway onto Bagnall. Well, nearly surrendering possession there, Wakefield. Well, it's gone. Saints have possession. The ball's gone to ground. Bagnall, he's going to be penalised for yapping. Saints are going to get a penalty here. Yes, Bagnall there. Quickly in at yapping. He's been waved away by referee Whitfield. And he's still yapping out to referee Whitfield. If he's not careful, he's going to have 10 minutes in the sin bin. These scrum halves are usually lively characters. Well, John Griffiths lofts us one over here. Nearly has us that time. I always thought he was a pal of mine, John Griffiths. But anyway, it went into touch, no problem. Kevin Ward powering it up. The referee right on the job. Wakefield doing a lot of mauling and Kevin Ward just picking one out. Nigel Bell, I think it is. George Mann has possession. Saints are trying to move it crossfield. The game's certainly livening up in this last 15 minutes that are remaining. Chris Joint. It's imperative that the Saints get the next score on the board. Griffiths now. Cooper. Griffiths looks for the gap. Excellent handoff there by Griffiths. Blind side for the Saints. Cooper chips it through for Alan Hunt. Hunt's going to win the chase. Can he gather it safely? Yes, Hunt's going. That's a try. Yes, that's an excellent try by Alan Hunt. And that's going to be a killer blow to Wakefield, isn't it? Hunt with his usual try here at Bellevue. Shane Cooper again, the Saints captain, the Saints leader. He knew what Hunt was capable of. The gap on the right here, he chipped it through. The Wakefield cover fumbled it, and Alan Hunt, quick as a flash in there, touched it down. Extends the Saints leads to 12 points to 5. And we're talking about 12 minutes of the game remaining. A difficult kick for Bernard Dwyer. I don't know whether we actually got that on your camera. As I said, it's a bit awkward in this bottom right-hand corner. Doesn't matter whether we've got it or not, does it? The points are on the board. 12 points to 5 at present. Alan Hunt, he's... well, I don't know, he's getting a bit of cheering at one end. Cheering from the Saints, obviously, and booing from the Wakefield spectators. Bernard Dwyer, no, it comes... very narrow there, but 7-point cushion for the Saints, 12 points to 5, and that's everything, isn't it? With 10 points to 10 minutes to go. So Paul Farber on for the last 10 minutes. He replaces George Mann. Farber looking to get in on the action. McCracken gathers it. Shane Cooper again, certainly running the job for the Saints captain, and as I say, he gets through some graft. As Dwyer scampering away, Farber looking for a bit of the action. He's going to get it here. Acting half-back at the play of the ball. We're in 14 this afternoon, Paul Farber, with Paul Groves with the 15 jersey. Dwyer gives it back to Griffiths for the kick downfield. Deep kick from Griffiths. Is it going to roll into touch? I think it is. Well, an excellent kick by Jonathan Griffiths in the Wakefield 10-metre area. It's Wakefield feed, but Saints will be down at that end, and they want to keep pressure on Wakefield and not let them have much room. Wakefield down to 12 men, an injured party just to the left of us. So Saints there, are they penalised at the scrum? Oh no, the scrum is to be reformed, obviously on not on the correct blade of grass. Saints push hard. Tried to take one against the head, but Wakefield come up with it. 4-2, they've taken the scrum the second half. And it's Richard Slater that was out of the scrum there from Wakefield. He's being led straight off. So Wakefield substitute will be coming on. Wakefield make the substitution. But it's Wakefield that have possession. They've made good yardage in 5 tackles. The ball on the last one, it's going to be kicked upfield. Beavers covers it well, takes it well. There's not a safer pair of hands in the rugby league than Phil Beavers. Alan Hunt from acting half, looking to bag a brace. He's brought down just inside the Wakefield half now, and Chris Joint, a tireless runner. Saints leading by 7 points, 12 points to 5. Perhaps Bernard has missed about 4. Awkward swirling wind here at Bellevue. But Kevin Ward driving it up. 6th and final tackle now. Shane Cooper moves up to acting halfback. There'll be a planned ploy here from Cooper. Out to Rapati. Chips it up. The chase is on again. Davy Jones put under a little bit of pressure. Cooper wraps him up. Alan Hunt comes in to complete the tackle. 7 minutes remaining. Timmins just come on as a substitute for loose forward Richard Slater. But now it's Wakefield just getting out of their own 20-metre area. As I said, we've already played Wakefield at Nosey Road this season. Saints looking for the first double. A 24 points to 12 win. A hard game that day. Run in the Wakefield area by Bagnall, who chips it through. Well, knocked forward Saints gather it. Gary Connolly has it. It's out to John Griffiths. He moves it over to the left. Well, he tries to straighten up. That was a high tackle, that, wasn't it? A Bagnall on Griffiths. Even though both players were slipping, it's still a high tackle. It's going to be a penalty to the Saints. Will Bernard Dwyer elect to go for goal? Very slippy out there, as we've said before. A lot of rain. If they've had anything like over here in Yorkshire as we've had in St Helens, quite a lot of rain the last couple of days. Dwyer onto Kevin Ward. Driving for the line is Ward. Can he stretch over? He's just brought down inches short. Dwyer again, moves it left. Sonny Nicol, he can't take it. Joint can. Joint brings it back. Had an excellent game as Chris Joint this afternoon. Tries to shrug the tacklers off. Another try, I've definitely seen it for the Saints. Dwyer moving it cross. Now with Forber. Fresh hands, Forber, fresh legs. Well, fresh everything, isn't it? But it's Dwyer again. At dummy half. Turns it left. Connolly. Out to Rapati. Short ball to Beavers. Good cover defence from Wakefield. Rapati now scampering away. Looking good. Oh, there's Dwyer. Excellent try. No problem this time, Robin, eh? You can see that right in front of you. And that's finished off the men from Bellevue. Bernard Dwyer with his second of the season. An excellent display from the Saints, even though they've come a little late in the half. The game finally poised at 5 points to 2 at half time, and then with an early Cooper try and a Dwyer penalty goal, still evenly poised at 8 points to 5, but in the Saints' favour this time. And it's 28 minutes into the second half when Alan Hunt went in after an astute kick by Shane Cooper. We're talking about 8 minutes later, roughly, and Bernard Dwyer going in under the sticks. Good support play from Dwyer. This is what he's renowned for. And this is going to secure the 2 league points after a hard battle here at Bellevue this afternoon. Even though Wakefield, as they were at St Helens, they've been out Paul Round, Price and Jackson in the second row. They've also Andy Wilson out, the flamboyant wingman. Always seems to do well against Saints. But Dwyer there, well, the touch judges look at each other. Dwyer converts his own try. Another 6 points for the Saints, and at 18 points to 5. It certainly looks quite comfortable, but I can assure you it's been far from comfortable this afternoon. We're in the last 5 minutes. 18-5. Saints with the tails up. Looking excellent value this afternoon. But as I've said before, and no doubt I'll be saying again throughout the season, you can only play as well as the opposition will let you. Wakefield have spotted well, they've moved up well, they've closed the Saints down, and this fella Bagnall, he's been the general prodding and probing. Been doing a bit of mouthing as well and being penalised for it. But you can see Wakefield are still sticking to the task, even though they are trailing by 18 points to 5. Groves has come on for the last few minutes. Don't know who's replaced Paul Groves, but he's very lively in the loose. Just watching the plate, Sonny Nicol that has the ball. Paul Groves attacked in half. Out to Cooper. Out to Phil Beaver. Short ball to Connolly. 2-1. Connolly's away. Chips it through for Alan Hunt again. Jones is chasing it. Oh, Hunt just can't get to it. Superb play from the Saints again. It was closed down there. The intended pass from Connolly to Hunt. There was a Wakefield player in the way. Connolly with a lovely kick through. Davy Jones just managed to clear it. Puts pressure on Wakefield. They have to drop out from between the sticks. Beavers on to Paul Farber. Moves it over, flicks it up to Chris Joint. The ball's still there, McCracken has it. Saints still throwing it about a bit, and at sports it's 18 points to 5. You can afford to throw it out a bit. Saints awarded the penalty. Reaping the ball out is the indication. 6-5, the penalties in Saints' favour this half. And it's big Kevin Ward, I think, that's been replaced by Paul Groves. Tireless worker is Kevin Ward. Bernard Dwyer looking for his 4th of the afternoon, approaching the full-time hooter. 18 points to 5 the score. Dwyer strikes it well, waved away by the touch judges. Still the score remains at 18-5, and also it takes up valuable minutes, doesn't it? So Saints are going to keep up the charge, still at the top of the Stones Bitter League Championship table. Chris Joint looking for support, but well clamped. Good clamping there by Lazenby. Groves from acting halfback. On to Paul Farber, moves it out on the blind side. Playing in stoppage time now, 40 minutes gone on my watch. Groves again. Griffiths on to Nickel on the opposite diagonal. Nickel still moving forward. There's the final hooter. An excellent display from the Saints this afternoon. As I said, 5 points to 2 at half time. Then Shane Cooper with a good try, some good work, instigated by Cooper, finished by Cooper. 6 points to 5, Saints in the lead for the first time. They extended it with a Dwyer penalty goal, and then 15 minutes later a superb Alan Hunt try after a kick through from Cooper. 12 points to 5, and then Dwyer finished it off virtually under the sticks with 5 minutes to go. 18 points to 5 the final score. Another home tie, well, 2 home ties for the Saints next week. Hull at home on Sunday, and then well, we've got Salford in the Lancashire Cup semi-final this Wednesday, I think it is, and then Hull at home on the Sunday, or anything like that, I don't know. I think it's 2 home fixtures anyway, but it's 18 points to 5 the final score here. Just a quick mention before we go, as I said, to Rosemary and Sean Fitzhenry on the birth of their new child. Best wishes from the Saints video team. Thanks once again for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Came good, didn't it, second half? Just came